This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lori McIsaac, Director of Experiential Tourism Development here at RTO9, and I also manage the Partnership Fund program. I am going to provide a general overview of our Basecamp software for those who have received partnership funding, because this is where everything related to your partnership project will be housed. So first step is to ensure that you have received an email inviting you to join your Basecamp project. Once you have accepted the invitation by clicking the join button in the email, you will have access to everything related to your project file. If you would like other individuals to have access to the file, please feel free to let me know with their name and email, and I can add them as well. If you haven't received your email invitation, please do reach out to me so I can resend it to you. So what you're looking at now is the landing page of a standard project file. They're all basically the same. The name at the top will be changed, obviously, to reflect your specific project name, but everything else will be what you see here today. So you can see that I'm already a member of your team at the top here. And this is where we can invite individual people to your project. The landing page has 3 folders. We've got a message board, a to-do folder, and a docs and files folder. So there is also a running project section towards the bottom that you can scroll through. And this is all the activity on your project file from anybody who has access and has done anything. So that's uploading files. You can see there's been one here. Checking off your to-do list. You can see I've done that in several of these. So this is just a quick way for you to scroll down and see what activity. And then you can, of course, click on each one and it will take you to the appropriate page. So going back up to the 3 main boxes, the message board is where most communication between you and RTO9 will take place. And you'll see that I have already uploaded my first message to you. Please take a minute to open and read that message sometime before your project starts, as it does contain information to help you get started with your project. If you need to reach out to me about any aspect of your project, you can do so by clicking the blue New Message tab on the top left. You don't need to really worry about picking a category, but like an email, you can enter a title name or a subject here. If you like, then you can just type away at the bottom. You can also add a link here or add an attachment if you like, using the icons on the toolbar. Once you have finished typing your message, you can scroll down and post this message. It will be sent to me right away. Don't be seduced into clicking the dark blue button, as this will only save your message as a draft and I won't be notified. You can also undo and redo in the upper right with these 2 arrows. So if you've made a mistake or you need to redo something again, you can click either of these buttons. So to get out of this page, you can just go up to the top and you'll see hidden in behind is your project main page, or if you have clicked several pages, it will take you to the previous page that you were working on. So you'll see it took us back to the message board. One more will take us back to the main page. So the second box we've got here is the to-do box. This is very important. And this is all the information that we require from our partners prior to giving the approval for the project to begin. So you'll see that we have several that have already been clicked here. Starting from, we'll start actually with things like your supporting documents. That would be the first thing other than your application that I would have received. So it would be your certificate of incorporation. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Your letters of support, if you have any, those would be letters from council or the Chamber of Commerce or partners you're working with, or your local tourism office or DMO. WSIB, we need to have a copy of your WSIB or a clearance certificate in this. And if there are, of course, any questions with any of this, you can reach out to me. We will also require proof of insurance stating RTO9 as co-insured. Again, this is a quick call to your insurance company. They issue you a 1-page document that includes having RTO9 covered as co-insured. And then the last one we have is the disclosure and release document. So you can see they've all been checked off. Once that's been done, once your invoice has been paid, down at the bottom here, once your contract has been signed, and then at the top, you've attended Basecamp project training, then you will get the click to proceed with your project. And you can see here, you're going to get a pretty little green sticker that says you have completed everything you need to do in order to proceed. So the next box we have is the docs and file. And once your project is up and running, this is really where everything is going to happen. So after clicking to open this folder, you'll find a bunch of pretty little boxes that might have you thinking, what have I gotten myself into? That looks like an awful lot of work. It's really not that much work. And of course, I'm always here to help and make it as easy for you as I can. So clicking on the Ministry and RTO9 logo folder, you will see 3 documents. The first one is the information on required usage of logos. For the ministry, it's very important that you use the Ontario logo in any materials that you are producing for your project, marketing materials, whether it is digital or print. And just as a note, we do not fund any print materials. So if you're producing flyers or things like that, it's not something that we do fund, but we do fund digital advertising and marketing. So it's important that everyone who is attending your event or who is going to see your project knows that it is being supported by the ministry. If you have room for the RTO9 logo, we'd appreciate the nod, but the most important one, of course, is the ministry. So opening this folder, you find information not only on how to use the logos, but the logo files themselves. So you'll see these are the logos here, the RTO9, and then what you will notice is underneath it indicates what it is. So there's industry facing or industry material logos, and then there are also, are they down here? And then we have the public logos. So what I would suggest is just read through that so you've got an idea, back page a bit here, of what the logo usage is. This is something that the ministry does look for when you submit your reporting, and I'll get into the reporting shortly. They're looking to make sure that they have been, their logos have been put on your marketing materials. So I'm going to back up again. So the next one is the Partnership Fund resources, and I'm going to make this page just a bit bigger so everyone can see. So the Partnership Fund resources has reference tools such as the Basecamp user tip sheet, the Partnership Fund guidelines, and the holy grail of resources, the social media engagement information. So this is a really important document, and it's super handy and helps you better understand just how you can engage with us and how we can help you push your messaging out. So strongly advise that you read through this. If you have somebody else doing your social media for you, please give that to them as well. So backing out again, the next folder we have is the RTO9 and partner payment information folder. Just a couple of documents in here. The first one is our banking information. This is the void. It's actually a void check. And this is so you can pay your 50% partner invoice through your bank. This is not the same as an e-transfer, which only requires an email. Unfortunately, our bank is not, we're not set up with our bank to do that. And as a matter of fact, our bank can't do that yet. So, but the information you provide to your bank on this form, the one that says void, will help to electronically transfer funds from your bank to our account. The second file is the form requiring the same information from your company so we can pay you any HST funds related to your supplier invoices. And these are rebated to us each year because we're a not-for-profit. We do get some of the HST back if it relates to your project, and HST has been paid to your suppliers. A portion of that, of course, would come back to you. So it can be anywhere from a few dollars to I've seen checks of over $1,000, depending on how big your project is, of course. Okay, so backing out again, the next file is the event, or folder rather, is the events event photos folder. And this is where you will upload any photos of your event that have been approved for use. So approval means you have a signed photo release form from the individuals in the photo, or if you used a professional photographer, the license and waiver has been filled out by them. Why do we want your photos? Simply because we want to help push your messaging out through and your event, your project, through our social media pages. We will use them in partnership fund marketing materials, or we could use them, and maybe even highlight your event at our annual tourism summit. So just we really like to let other industry partners know where our funding is going to. So if they have an idea and they'd like to apply for funding, they can see that it's already gone to something similar. So backing out again, the next is the invoices ready for payment by RTO 9. This is probably the folder that can create the most challenge, I think, for most, and it's simply because of the way invoices, the structure of invoice payment is. So there is a sample invoice here, and the same EFT form that we would ask you to fill out your banking information, this is here for your supplier. So any invoice you are going to submit here in this folder would have to have the accompanying EFT form with it. If there's any way you can scan those together so it's one file, that would be amazing, but if that's not possible, don't worry, we'll make it work. So in the sample invoice, and again, let me just bring this up a little bit bigger for everyone. It's not so clear, but I put this in here so everyone has an idea of what I mean when I say the invoices must be made out to RTO 9. If one of your suppliers sends you an invoice, let's say you rented a tent for an event you had, and they make the invoice out to you, we won't be able to pay them. What I'll need to do is send it back to you and say, can you please ask them to make it directly out to RTO 9 with our information. It's a lot clearer when you print it off. And then with some reference to your partnership fund project. So either the partnership fund name or your company name or whatever it is, I can usually figure it out from there. So that's the invoicing, as I said, seems to be a bit of a challenge for many, but in a nutshell, all of your invoices that you want paid through your partnership fund must be made out to RTO 9 and sent directly to you. Please do not ask them to send them to me directly. And of course, they won't have access to your Basecamp fund. The reason for this is we want to make sure that we're paying an invoice that you have approved. So you will actually have to see it and approve it, and then upload it with the accompanying EFT form to this file, so to the invoices ready for payment by RTO 9. So again, if there are any concerns, any challenges with this, please do reach out to me. We do have a payment schedule of every 2 weeks, so it shouldn't be long for each of your suppliers to get paid out. Backing out again, behind box number 5, we've got your contract. So you can click it on to download. So once you click on any file, page down a little bit, you have 2 options: to download or to replace with a new version. So to sign your contract, of course, you would download it, print it, and sign it. And then you need to upload the entire contract. Please, not just the signature page. We need the entire contract for it to be legal. Scan that through, and then you can actually go in and just replace this current version. When you click on replace, you can either drag and drop the scanned file here, or you can pick it from your computer. Once you have done that, then you can just upload it, and then your contract is taken care of. That's the only thing that will be in this file, so that's a quick and easy. The ministry reporting is necessary, and depending on when your project finishes, you will be asked to complete an interim or final report. So the interim report is due September 30th, and the final report is due March 15th of the following year. I will send out reminders to everyone ahead of time. Timing for these are very, very important because we have to roll up all these reports into one final report on partnership funding that will go to the ministry. So it's not a long document. It's a short 3-page document providing us in the ministry with information about your project, about its goals and objectives, and the key metrics and future plans. And it needs to include, again, important, it needs to include digital marketing samples. So send the actual file of the digital marketing piece, as well as direct links to any social media channels used to market your project. So please, regarding the social media links, please don't just state you used your website to advertise and market, or you marketed through Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram. We actually need the links, and if any of your partners have posted or are helping to market your event through their websites, we would need those links as well. Other than that, it's a fairly easy process of filling out the report, but it is vitally important, of course, not only to your current project, but to future funding. So, and last but not least is your supporting documents folder. This is where the items from your to-do list will be kept. And these include, we'll open up there we go. So these will include your application, and usually I will upload any documents you submitted with your application here already. So your application will be in here, your proof of incorporation, your letters of support if available. Again, these are letters from partners that you're working with, from maybe the city or council, your chamber of commerce, tourism office or coordinator, etc. It's not mandatory to have letters of support. It just boosts your application if you do have letters of support. Number 4, the signed disclosure and release document, which is actually in this file. So you'll need to download that, sign it, and upload it back again. And then again, your WSIB certificate or clearance certificate, and your insurance certificate stating RTO9 as co-insured. We'll go back. Here we go. So your application would be here. Again, I would upload that as well as any other documents that you would have uploaded. But in a nutshell, all of the supporting documents listed here must be here before we can give your project the green light to go ahead. And in the third box, you see the disclosure and release statement. It is a 1-page document. When you're in Basecamp, you can't open a document while you're in Basecamp. You actually have to download it first and then open it. It's just a little glitch with Basecamp that they don't seem to find that it's necessary to fix that, but that's okay. It's a small issue. So this is pretty much everything that covers the training. Everyone's project is different. So if I can help clarify any information, or you have any further questions about Basecamp, about your project or the process, please reach out to me at any time so I can help you keep your project moving in the right direction, so I can help with any issues that come up. Quite frequently, there are problems that come up in a project, and you may not have the resources or the connection to fix it, but that's where we come in. So we're a partner in more than just the funding. We're a partner to help you push out your project through our social media channels. We're a partner in finding resources, in networking, in helping with marketing, marketing ideas, if you're not quite sure on how to move forward with that. So this wraps up the Basecamp training. And again, if I can help at any point for anyone, please do reach out to me. At this point, everyone would have my email address. I am available pretty much anytime to you, and I wish you all the best with your project. Thanks.